Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
Welcome to Piccadilly Stampin'.
Thanksgiving Eve.
It is Thanksgiving Eve, isn't it?
Yes.
Not everybody will know what that is.
Well, for us in America,
well, I know that
tomorrow we glutton ourselves.
Glutton, not gutton.
Glutton. I said glutton.
Did you? Okay, I didn't know that you said it. All right, so I'm going to get this up for you here. We've got kind of a jam-packed show, so we're going to get going. And let me grab it. I hope everybody has got their, here in the U.S.,
Hi, Jean Shoot.
a
Laura.
place to be with friends and family to celebrate Thanksgiving. And for those who are joining us from around the world. Yeah. I'm almost there. It takes a little longer on the laptop. I think I need an update, Bill, and I think I need help with it.
Okay.
So maybe you can help me with that. Okay. Oh, I get in here and I see Cindy and Karen and Beth Ann. Woohoo!
Hi, Beth Ann.
And Jean Orwig and Lori and Jean Shoot and Laura. And there's Mary Ellen. So if you have any friends and family who want to see an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful card, definitely tag them in this. Share this to your wall and you will get into next week's drawing. So was there anything that you wanted? Hi, Marcia. Glad you could make it. Hi, Kristen.
Well, I just wanted to remind everybody to set the scales back 10 pounds.
Set the scales back 10 pounds?
Yeah.
Yes, tonight's the night to set the scales back 10 pounds. I do that every day of my life, Bill.
Oh.
It's not just Thanksgiving Eve. So as I have been doing, I've been doing the drawing right away, and then we do the announcements afterwards. That way those who want to leave, that don't need to get the announcements, can leave and be able to be with their family. So last week we did this kind of, it's not a fun fold card, but I used this fold technique to make this cute little tree. I just love this thing. Look at it.
They are cute.
And then with so this will be the card that we're drawing for today. So I have the tickets arranged in here. Now, Bill's sitting back differently than he normally is. Let me mix these up a little bit. Okay. Do you want to reach in? Can you grab two?
1, 2.
Did you hear that? That was totally an old man stretch right there.
It was. Sarah Heath.
Sarah, woohoo! So glad that you shared again. Thank you, Sarah.
And then Lisa Gibson.
Lisa Gibson.
I haven't
Okay.
seen her in yet, but she's sometimes here.
Okay. Sometimes she's here. Lisa, I don't know you, so you'll have to message me your address right here. Piccadilly Stampin'. Just send it in the inbox to me, and I will get these out to you. Well, does the mail run on Friday?
Yeah.
Okay, so it'll be Friday at the soonest. All right, so be sure to like and follow us, and if you want to, you can like and follow me on YouTube also.
On YouTube.
It's just kind of my page saver here.
Okay, let's get going.
Are you ready?
Let's go. It looks like a nice card.
He's really excited about this card. So I'm going to show you the fall colors that I started off, what I picked. And I think we forget about Mary Merlot, but Mary Merlot is actually in our neutral home. You know, we have our neutrals, our brights, our pastels, our regals, and then of course our in colors. And it's in our neutral color, but it's perfect for like that crisp fall feeling, right? Okay, you ready for the next fall color? Say what? It's Daffodil Delight.
Daffodil Delight, a fall color. Oh, please.
Well, it will be how I'm using it. Guess what our other one is?
A pink.
It's a hot pink. It's Melon Mambo. Now, I know this doesn't look like fall, but we are making a fall card because technically winter doesn't start until the 21st of December.
That's right.
So we're going to
No
do
matter how much snow we have out there.
So, well, we don't have much right now.
No, it's all our 5 inches are gone.
It is gone. 5 inches?
That's what they're saying we've had so far.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that much.
Well,
okay.
Remember, we were gone when it snowed one time.
True. So this is a little bit of a technique card. So I have a Mary Merlot base that I'm going to start off with. And this is just for an A2 card. So if you are joining us from like New Zealand, because isn't it tomorrow over there already?
Yep.
Or someplace like that. I know you guys have different size cards around the world. So, which is a beautiful, you know, fall color. So we're going to start there. And then I am pairing that with the Scallop Contours dies. And so what I chose for a color to compare it with, we are not going to be using any of our pattern paper, is the largest scallop die and crumb cake. Okay, so I'm pairing it with that. Do you want to put that away for me?
Sure.
And the set that I've chosen, I've looked at this and looked at this, and now that I have it, I am so glad I went through with the purchase. So it has like this oak leaf here. So we're going to use this image, and we're going to use this little bit of kind of like a splatter image. And then I love the sentiment, "You are amazing beyond measure." I think that is so pretty. Anything that says you are amazing, I think is awesome. And we're also going to use, well, I have them in here, so we might as well start right there, okay? I'm going to bring out, we're going to use a little bit of gold foil paper, Bill.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to actually do kind of a fancy card.
Fancy.
A fancy. That's a term. So,
Season of Chic.
Season of Chic, yeah. And I'm going to bring out the base for our Stampin' Cut and Boss machine. And then I'm going to have the 2 acrylic plates. And I am going to use some scrap pieces of foil. So I've got 1, 2, and I, just as I said, I have 2. I'm going to pull out the rest of this pack. 2 of the die cuts from the Season of Chic, which are the leaf outline. So I'm going to see if I can fit this right on here. It should fit. And this one right on there. And I need some washi tape just to hold it in place a bit.
Yeah.
While I'm running it through. Okay. So get our base, and then our acrylic, our paper, our die, and then another acrylic base.
Hi, Madison.
Hi, Madison, hun. Thanks for coming. I know many people are probably baking pies tonight, so thank you for everybody who's stopped in to say hello and watch. This is actually a beautiful card. And you know, I might, well, I probably won't need to with foil paper. I felt like that was tough, but did it? No, it worked just fine. So let me grab the die. That goes in the Season of Chic.
Well, do you want your washi tape back?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to, I want to be careful pulling this off here. Thank you. I could have. Okay. So I'm just going to start off with these leaves. Let me get my little pokey tool here.
Hi, Beverly.
And then we're going to pull this out of the die cut. There we go. So it's kind of just the outline really. And then there's this other one, and it's a little bit different shape. Let me get those out. They just kind of fall out. So there they are. Okay, can you put this one back in the die?
Is there another one someplace? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to set those aside here and put my crumbs away and get this out of the way. Very easy, especially when you're running them through together. And those are the only 3 die cuts between the scallop and that. So we'll move this out of the way. And I love how this holds that mini right in place.
It is kind of a cool trick that you gave him.
Okay, now we've got that done. So let's do some Stampin' here to begin. And I need a
rubber mat.
I will. You're trying to direct me, huh?
Yeah.
I'm going to use the little embossing buddy here, and I'm going to heavily pat on. This keeps our fingerprints, and whew, got that a little heavy, didn't I?
Oh my! I can see it from here.
And Versamark. So we're going to start off. Now this is where it gets a little bit hard to see what you've done, but I want to start with that outline again, not the inner one, but the outline image of that oak leaf. Is that an oak leaf? That's an oak leaf, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
So.
And I'm going to randomly place these around, which means I'm going to have to pick this up to look and make sure that I've got this going in different ways. And I don't care if it overlaps at all. I'm more about kind of covering everything. We're going to make our own DSP. I got to stop and look. Ooh, I am overlapping a little here. It's okay. One more right there. And then while I've got it out, I'm going to use those little splatters, and I'm going to try to fill in. So I'm going to look at what I've done and kind of fill in. And it is hard to see for you on camera. I know you're probably like, what? Did Nick ever make it?
Yeah, Nick's in.
Oh, that crazy girl staying up late. She says that live is better than watching it. Okay, so I've just added, and I actually see, there we go. Now I want to take gold emboss powder.
Uh-oh, here it goes.
Yep. Sometimes it's best actually to use your little tool, your little tweezers.
Are those the reversible ones?
No.
Reversible?
Well, they are, yes. They're the new ones from Stampin' Up. Okay, so now you're going to see.
Wow!
Well, this isn't the good part.
Oh, I know. Wait till you melt it.
Yeah, so you remember what embossing powder does, right?
You bet.
Okay, so just gonna tap off the excess. Perfect. And where'd my lid go? Here it is. Set that aside. Now for the fun part. I need my heat tool. We have 2 speeds on this, and because there's a lot that needs to be heated, I'm going for the high speed. Heat that up a minute. It's hot. You don't want to burn the paper, but I want you to see, when I first started stamping, this was my favorite technique. Keep that moving behind there so it doesn't burn. You see some of it starting to come and turn? It's melting that powder.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty? I know. I love this. Just keep it moving. There we go. It's getting there. It just takes a little bit of time. And on camera, I know this is kind of loud. It can't be any louder than me, I don't think. I just want to get this piece done so we can go on to the next piece. Don't worry if they overlap some. Just concentrate more on getting that melted. I think sometimes, do I have it all? Okay, I want you to be aware that the piece that I started with is a Whisper White piece of cardstock. This wasn't thick or anything. It's just Whisper White cardstock. And I'm using that for a reason, because the card that I'm going to be ending up with, well, while that just kind of cools, let's just go on here. I'm going to use a piece of the sentiment is going to be on Very Vanilla. So this was 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and this one is 1 1/4 by 3. And I'm going to start off with our fun little edge. And if you haven't seen this, you get 3 punches in 1 punch, which I love. It's got a little area on each side that you line your corner up on. So you want to stick it in straight, and you go straight down, punch, flip. The big thing is to flip, punch, turn, straight down, punch, flip. And now I've got a cute little label. So, and this is called the Very Best, well, how about if I hold it like this? The Very Best Trio Punch. So, let me get that embossing folder off of there. I would like to take the Mary Merlot while that thing's cooling. You don't, it should be cool by now, yeah. But when it's still hot from being heated up, it will smear. So that's why you give it just a moment. So you are amazing beyond measure. And I'm gonna get my Stampin' Pierce mat because I want this to have more of an exact. Any questions or anything so far, Bill?
No, they're loving it. They're loving your technique.
It's pretty basic so far, but we're going to get, I may need to stand. Make sure I've got that somewhat even. I can hear Izzy snoring again. She loves coming to work and snoring.
Oh, here's a question.
Okay.
Why do you heat it from the back and not the front?
Mostly why I'm doing that right now, oops, I'm going to need this again, that I heat from the back is because I want you to see it turns, because those people who have never seen this before get pretty excited, but also because I don't want it, I have all that glue and powder on there and I want it to not blow away. So I'm going to take this off.
Got hot, huh?
I go from hot to cold, hot to cold. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. So this is white, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then this was 1 1/4 by 3, and this was in the vanilla. That's important to remember. So let's get this out of the way, and now we can pull this back in. So of course I'm going to do some blending with blending brushes, right? So I'm going to pull out my pink and red brush and then my yellow. I am going to start with Daffodil Delight, which is totally too bright for a fall card, but I'm going to be blending it into these other colors. Pink is too bright. Well, guess it just depends on what your definition is, but we're going to have fun with this. Just trust me. I want a lot of color, so I'm going to use a lot of force. I'm going to start it off just a little bit, and I'm going to come right in here, and I am not holding back at all. I'm doing some full force coloring right up in here, maybe right over here, and it's okay to go a little bit farther out with, this is the daffodil. Now you're going to get some inky fingers, so if you have an aversion to getting dirty, this may not be the technique for you, but just saying. Okay, so I've got a little down there. I'm going to hold off on this, but I know if I don't close it, I'll stick my thumb in it. Now let's come in with the pink. When you come in with a bright pink like this on yellow, does anyone know what this will do? Do you have any clue?
No. Tell me.
It's going to turn pink in the white areas and orange in the other.
Really?
Yep. So start that off just a little bit.
There's your fall colors.
There, well, that's pretty bright right now, but okay. And then I'm going to come around here. Do you see some of these oranges popping up? It's pretty, isn't it? Now I started on white instead of the, and you can see I'm getting inky, instead of the off-white because I want this to be brighter. I want this to have a lot of color to it. And I want to come right on here and smear it all in. Isn't it pretty, you guys? It's so pretty, I think. So I've got kind of an orange happening, right? I'm going to leave that, and I'm going to come to the darkest color, and this is the Mary Merlot. So if you're going from one light color to dark color, you don't necessarily have to take off the pink because this is a red too, so it's not gonna like, you can use a different brush if you want to, but I kind of have brush family colors, and this works because these go very well. This is just a darker shade of the pink, so you can see it's got a little like more, almost like a brown to it to make it kind of rusty. So now look what's going to happen to this. We're going to come over this. I want some of that pink, and I want to leave some of these lighter pieces in here just because I like it. That's my personal preference, but I definitely want to get these edges darker. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go, and I'm darkening it. Now that went to a darker orange. I want to leave some of that yellow and some of that pink because that brightness, I think, is what makes it so pretty. But I definitely see how I'm darkening that up and getting a little bit of that kind of brick color. Again, it's an inky project. I guess you could wear a glove if you wanted to protect yourself, but I say hands are made for washing. So, and I'm going in here, and I definitely want to concentrate on the edges. That again is my personal preference. I like it when these edges look kind of dark. Are you seeing any questions or comments?
Not yet.
Okay. Now, it still looks bright, doesn't it? Bill, can you hand me a tissue?
Yeah. The one question is, who would think that pink and yellow would make orange?
Would make orange. Okay, so now I've got
Love
that
it.
color on there, and the gold is actually muted. So let me just take this for a minute, and I'm gonna use, you can use, I'm using a tissue, but you can use, I would use something disposable like a paper towel or a tissue or something. And I'm going to shine up those gold pieces now. See? It's taking color right back off of those gold pieces.
Ooh.
Yeah, that we have colored. I don't want the gold to be hidden. I just want the paper to be hidden. When I said we're making our own, I meant we're making our own.
Beautiful.
So now,
Up to 35 people.
all right. Okay. So now I've got that gold showing back through in bright gold. And if I want to darken it up, I don't. I kind of like maybe a little on these edge. But I kind of like that pink and orange showing through. And each one of these are going to be unique on their own and be different on their own. What are you giggling about?
They're saying they're too mesmerized to comment. Very pretty.
It is very pretty. And this was pretty simple. I spent more time explaining it to you than I did doing it. So let's just take this out of here for now. And let's take that, and I want you to see what that looks like against the crumb cake. Oh, that brings that gold out, doesn't it? So we're playing on these colors. Let's see if I've got any glue left in this one. Otherwise, I'll open a new one. Yeah, I got enough. So I want to get the glue on here. and put this on the Scallop Contours largest die. And this is why I came to the size cut that I did. The 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 fits perfectly inside this die. And that green glue gives me just a minute to kind of lay it down, move it around, and get that into place. You see? That. Okay, you want to see something else that's pretty spectacular?
Sure.
Okay, now look, I've got all that pink, right? And yellow that made that orange. Look at when you put it up against the dark brick red. Does that just not come off beautiful? I think it comes off gorgeous.
It's awesome.
So, let's adhere this down now.
Stunning.
Stunning, really?
That's what it's been said.
Oh, I thought maybe that was your word.
Wonderful. They love it. I'm going to try it.
Oh, I hope you do. I love it when you guys...
Spectacular.
Spectacular. Is that your word?
Nope.
Oh.
I use that one.
Isn't it beautiful, though, with that gold? I love it when you guys case.
I'm over here reading a thesaurus.
Bill's like reading a thesaurus, he says, with you guys. Okay, so now that I've got that stuck down, wait, there's more. This card, if you just thought I was going to do this, you're wrong. We're going to add that bling. Remember, we first started off cutting out those oak leaves? So we're going to add those with our sentiment and a little bit more, because this card, it's just so pretty. So I know I want these.
Before you cover it up, though, maybe you should show them the difference.
Oh, Bill wants me to show you something. I was showing him that I could have easily just took a piece of Mary Merlot and did this. But the difference, can you see the difference in these two cards? Maybe if I hold it like that. Can you see the difference? You just get so much more depth of color, and you make your own kind of designer series paper out of it. I'm not saying this is bad. This is good. This is good. This is pretty. This would make a nice card, but it just didn't have enough wow for me. For those of you who have been following me for a while, you know I like the brights, right? But it's not going to stay this bright. So I hope you could they see the difference, or was I wiggling it too much?
You can definitely see the difference.
Okay, I get to going like this, and then
like, oh my god.
It does.
From Monkey Sister.
Oh, hi, Lori. Okay, so then I'm going to take some Stampin' Seal, and I know that I want these two. Let's see. I think I want the shorter one up top, and I want this to go somewhere on here. And you guys know me. I like to bend mine to have a little movement to them. So it doesn't matter where, really. Just take a little seal to hold this down, and I'm just going to put a little line of it here. And then take a look and see what I like. That's not too bad, kind of coming up there. Okay, now I might actually, well, I got another idea. Let me hand me this. There we go. This is the Satin Edge ribbon. Have you guys seen this? It is gold, and it is kind of a very vanilla color, and it's got some see-through in there. It's so pretty, satin on the edge. So this is a trick I learned maybe a year ago, and I love it, and I use it every now and again for certain things, but we're going to do it tonight. We're going to make a sloppy bow. So this is a granny knot. Take a big piece, run it around, stick your finger up underneath so that you've got a little wedge that you're pulling through. That helps your bow. Okay, this is going to be a really loose, sloppy bow. We're going to go like this, and it's going to be a big one. I normally make a lot smaller bows, don't I? But we're going to cut it like so, like this. And how do I want to attach this? A glue dot? I think I'll do a glue dot. So we'll take a glue dot here. Yeah. And I'm going to have this going all over my card. And I don't even want to kind of pull that out a little bit. So I've got a big sloppy bow there. Shelley Gardner is the one who taught me this, and I use this every now and again when I can't figure out what I want to do and I get tired of laying the ribbon or walking it or just tying a bow underneath. She says do this. Then I'm going to take some dimensionals. Oh, a brand new sheet of dimensionals.
Uh-oh.
And
breaking it in.
I'm going to put 2 down on this side, right? And I'm going to use, actually, I want to use the Seal Plus on this other side because this is going to have the height of the ribbon. And so I want this to stick very carefully on that part of the ribbon and it'll take on that height. But since I already know that that height is pretty high, I'm going to take these off and I'm going to add 2 more dimensionals right where those are, and that's going to fix the height of that bow with the height of the end, right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Make sure they know. Ask them. Does that make sense? Let Bill know if it makes sense. So I have 2 dimensionals high because this has got some height to it. Okay.
Thumbs. Woo, hearts.
Great. Okay, so then I'll just put this right over here. So now this is even. Okay. Now there's just not enough bling. Believe it or not, after all of that, there's not. And my original thought was to go for this and go for the gold. But there's a lot of gold on here. I'm going to go for the red. This is the red and green adhesive backed pearls, which I love. The other thing that I love is I've got a variant of red in here. So it doesn't matter that these are not Mary Merlot because all of our colors are made to coordinate. That doesn't mean every single color goes with everything. It just means that they're made to coordinate. So we'll put 1 down here.
Hi, Jill Peterson.
Hi, Jill. And then, oops, 1 there. And I'm going to put it right there around. My focal area is really on the sentiment. So I try to focus like kind of an odd number of embellishments around my focal point. Now there's a lot to this card. And maybe, here's another one. Oh, see, each one of them. This has a whole different, I did more of the color there.
Each one will be different.
Yes, each one will be different. I have a smaller bow on this one. I guess I can kind of trim this down. It is going right off into the unknown. There we go. But is this not the cutest? I love this. And it coordinates so beautifully. And I love the tip about you can use 2 dimensionals. Now here's the thing. This is going to flatten down and send on one. I checked it out. I did. However, I would on one stamp. However, I would say I like to save like the backs of our DSP. I'm trying to find one here real quick. Here we go. These things, and then I cut them down. Oh, come on. Pulling one out of a package. These things that have our name and our colors and everything, it's kind of a nice cardboard, and I will cut these down sometimes to like a 3x4 because then you can get 12 out of one sheet, and place it over when you're sending it so that it just doesn't get caught or an embellishment move when you're running it through the mail. And that is the way that I find the best. Now, were there any questions, Bill?
Not yet.
Okay.
They love the card.
And
gorgeous, wonderful card.
Isn't it pretty? And you get that, it's got a lot of bling on its own, but it just, no DSP was used, or if you're brand new to me, that's designer series paper or pattern paper. We made our own out of these seasonal colors. Not really, but they really work for me. And again, here's what that would have looked like if you'd have just heat embossed that on a Mary Merlot cardstock. So you can see quite a bit of difference in here. Well, that's what I have tonight. So for those of you who don't need to stay around for announcements, you can go ahead and go. I do want to say happy Thanksgiving to those of you here in the United States. Thank you for popping in and just letting us share some of the stuff that we love. I would really love it if you could just like and follow us, especially if you're new. Leave your name, where you're from. Share this video. These will be the cards that I will be giving away next week. So share the video this week to your wall, and your name will be put in for a drawing for these cards for next Wednesday night. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter, sign up for my newsletter. I got a couple of things coming here starting next month. There'll be a few company things, then a couple of my own specials. If you're not aware, I do have a perks program. This is for being a loyal customer to me. So it is like a rewards program. For every $35 that you purchase per time, you get a letter to the name Piccadilly when you collect all 10, and I send you as you go where you're at. Then you get a $25 shopping spree on me. I will pay the tax and the shipping on that. I will let you save that up twice to be able to do $50, so that if you wanted to get a bundle. So that's something, just being my customer. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that you've seen tonight or any of my other videos, you can purchase them right here. There's a Shop Now button at the top of Facebook for Piccadilly Stampin'. And if you're watching me later on YouTube, you will find that there is a link in my description. For all orders that are under $149.99, please use this host code. This will be changing next week.
Will? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a brand new host code next week. But if you're ordering this week over the holiday weekend, please use that code. Was there anything else?
Nope. They love it.
That was it. So thank you so much. We will see you. There will not be a parfait on Friday. This is kind of our holiday weekend. We're doing some family things, so there will not be a Friday parfait. So we will see you next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.